Hello and welcome back to a new episode of Halfway with Hathaway. Season 1, Episode 5. Going to be a juicy one today. That's for sure. George Hathaway here. So happy to have you joining me today. And I just want to start it off. I think Patrick Mahomes is a baby. He is the biggest crybaby that I've ever seen in sports. I put out this poll on my Twitter. Who's a bigger crybaby? Mahomes or Luka Doncic? I mean, the polls speak for themselves. I had a few people respond, but 86% said that Patrick Mahomes is the biggest crybaby in sports over Luka, and I have to agree. All he does is cry and complain when he doesn't get the right calls. And that's not right. That's not right at all, because what he is doing is hurting his brand, hurting himself. If he wants to solidify him as one of the best quarterbacks, which I believe by far he is not even close to, if he wants to put himself up there, he's going to have to stop complaining. Did Tom Brady ever complain? No. Not to the extent that Patrick Mahomes did in the loss to the Bills. Because guess what? Kadarius Toney was offsides. He was offsides, not even close to the line of scrimmage. Didn't check with the official to his right. Every receiver does. Every receiver does that little good, a little thumbs up motion, looking over to the side. Yeah. And the ref will, back up a little bit. Oh, you're good. Something like that. No, nothing. And then they complain, we didn't get a warning or anything like that. Know where you are on the field. It's that simple. You get paid millions of dollars to line up on the line of scrimmage correctly and catch a football. That's all you have to do correctly. And then he's going, Mahomes saying in the press conference, this is going to hurt Travis Kelce's Hall of Fame career. No, it's not. No, not at all. Travis Kelce took this a total different approach, a total 180 from what Patrick Mahomes did. I mean, Travis Kelce on his New Heights podcast with his brother, he was just saying that, things happen. They talked a lot more about, the throw that Kelce made, which was one of his best throws ever. But I mean, it's not good for himself. I'm going to play the video for you guys and just take a listen.
I mean, not only for me, but just for football in general. I mean, just to take away greatness like that. I mean, for a guy like Travis to make a play like that, and who knows if we win, but as I know as fans, you want to see the guys on the field decide the game. And that's why last week I didn't say anything about the flag. They didn't get called on the Marquez. And so, I mean, they're human, man. They make mistakes. But, it's every week we're talking about something, and all I can do is go out there and give everything I have. And I'm proud of the guys because that's what we did. And it was a great football game that ended – another great football game that just ended like that. It's just tough to swallow.
Patrick, what do you – for lack of a better term, what made it boil over? Was it that itself, or was it
it's the call, man. Just in that moment, I mean, it's not even for myself or for me. It's just I know how much everybody puts into this game, and for it to happen on a flag change the outcome of a game. In that moment, I mean, I've played 7 years, never had offensive offsides called. I mean, that's elementary school. We talk about. I mean, you point to the ref, do all that different type of stuff, and it doesn't get called. And if it does, they warn you, and there was no warning throughout the entire game. And then you wait till there's a minute left in the game to make a call like that. It's just tough, man. It's lost for words, man. It's tough because regardless if we win or lose, man, just for it to end with another game and we're talking about the refs, man, it's just not what we want for the NFL and for football.
Because what Patrick Mahomes is saying, it's not right. It's not good for football. You're going to cry and complain about the referees who have been in favor of Patrick Mahomes, let's be honest, for a good chunk of his career. It's not okay. To go around saying that, they messed it up and then bad sportsmanship on Patrick Mahomes' end. When the quarterbacks, him and Josh Allen took midfield, to shake hands, hug it out, congratulate each other. What did Patrick Mahomes do? He complained. He complained yet again. Hey, Josh, good game. No, nothing like that. He was just saying how they got screwed. I'm going to play that video for you guys, that audio, because it's dumb.
Longest fucking call I've ever seen, man. Offensive offsides in that moment, man. Fucking terrible.
You're Patrick Mahomes. You're the face of the NFL. You're going to sit here, cry, and complain day after day about this. Move on. Take the loss. You might not even be the best team in the AFC West right now. Russell Wilson and the Broncos might have that on lock if they continue playing like how they have and Mahomes is falling out. No. You're not even the best team in your division. Tom Brady never did that. Peyton Manning never did that. Aaron Rodgers never did it. Drew Brees never did it. He's not going to put himself in that category with those guys. Let alone he can't even beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl or even AFC Championship game. And you want to say you're better? No. So Patrick Mahomes is the biggest crybaby in all of sports and in the NFL. LeBron cries about foul calls. He complains. Okay, yeah. But what does he do? He moves on to the next play. He gets down on the other end of his court. Makes a defensive play. Makes an offensive play. No, Mahomes did like a 2-minute recording about how it was bad. Then his wife's posting, the refs are the MVP. Honey, we've been saying that about the Chiefs and you guys for the last few years because that's what's happened. It's not good for the brand of football to have Patrick Mahomes, bad hair day, to have Patrick Mahomes complaining about calls. It's not good. It's just, then what? What's going to happen? No more calls are going to come his way. Refs don't care. They're there to do their job. Just like Patrick Mahomes is to do his job, which is to get the ball downfield and score. There's a saying, shut up and dribble. Sometimes you just got to take it. Take it like a champ and move on. You're not going to get all the calls in life. It's just all about how you're going to move on and play the next game. I think somebody, who's done a great job of that, and we joke, the media jokes and laughs about it, it's Bill Belichick. With the recent report about, Tommy Curran saying that his sources, I'm putting that in quotation marks, are saying that Bill Belichick is going to get fired at the end of the season. It's been a done deal since Germany when they lost to the Colts. It's according to Tommy Curran, nothing solidified. Nobody else has broke this news. Nobody else has talked about it. But you know what Bill said when he was asked about it? It's on to Kansas City. Asked about it again, on to KC. That's what you have to do. Hey, Patrick, what'd you think of that call? Something that's this is what he should have said. Something that's out of our control. Refs made a call, whether it was right or not. We should have done better. That's all you have to say. Because you complaining is just going to make you look like an idiot. Crying about it. Supposed to be one of the best players in football right now. Sometimes you just got to move on. All right, yeah, bad call, but hey, let's focus on New England right now. All you have to do. Because who knows what Bailey Zappi is going to do. So you better be focused about the Patriots right now. That's why. That's why you just got to stop complaining, grow up, and just play football. Calls aren't going to happen all the time. That's life. They're humans. Refs are humans, just like Patrick Mahomes is. This isn't Major League Baseball where they're thinking of going to automated umpires. Umpires make bad decisions all the time. Some more than others. Andrew Hernandez. But I'm not going to, I'm not going to point anybody out. But that's just the nature of the game. That's what makes sports so much better. It's just you have the human aspect of it. But guess what? You made a bad call. But guess what should have happened? Maybe you don't turn the ball over. I thought about that. No, probably not. Because all he does is wants to cry and complain that he didn't get his way, and then he thinks he can be held up on a pedestal because he's Patrick Mahomes. No, nobody cares that you're Patrick Mahomes. Those refs don't care whether or not you're the greatest athlete to ever step foot. That's just the nature of sports. Sometimes you just have to move on. Yeah, you can say, just bad call and move on. So that's just my little tidbit about Patrick Mahomes, just because of how annoying I think he is. I've always not been a fan of Patrick Mahomes, but this just solidifies it even more. Fan of his game. Yeah, he's a great quarterback. Just not a fan of his antics. Not at all. One quarterback who I'm starting to become a fan of, Tommy DeVito, Tommy Cutlets. He's just making football fun for some odd reason. I hate the Giants. I absolutely despise them. Don't get me wrong. This is a team that beat my Patriots not once but twice in the Super Bowl. So of course I have to dislike the Giants. But Tommy Cutlets, there's something to him that just makes it fun. His agent who just got inducted into the National Italian Sports Hall of Fame, which is amazing. Congratulations to him. He's been an agent for 19 Super Bowl champions. Tommy DeVito's not his only agent. He's been very successful. He's from Salem, Massachusetts. A guy up in the New England area, a really nice guy. And the agent, just dressing up like that. That's what he does, though. But, kind of seeing it now, the Italian and Tommy DeVito, Saquon Barkley doing the little Italian hand gestures, it's making it fun. Now, what does this mean for Daniel Jones' future? The Giants just paid him a bag. They paid him so much money. And Tommy DeVito's coming in here winning games like it's nothing. And the fans love it. You have to remember, at the end of the day, it's an entertainment business. So yeah, it's fun. These players are having fun. The fans are loving it. And New York's a big Italian area. Local kid living at home with his mom. Yeah. Everyone's going to love the hometown kid, Tommy DeVito. I'm starting to love him. And I hate the Giants. It's just the nature of football, and that's how it is. You have somebody who's coming in here back up against the wall, no pressure whatsoever, and he's balling out. It's fun to see him play like that. And just the attitude, the swagger, the Italian in him, It makes it fun. I love it. Big fan of Tommy DeVito, so shout out Tommy Cutlets. Hate the Giants, though. But it's fun. I think it's so cool, just the attention that he's getting, and he deserves it. This is a guy who, it goes undrafted. Now he's playing for his hometown team. It's a great underdog story that you love to see in sports, and that's why I think it's picking up this coverage that it is, just based off of how things are going right now in the NFL. That you want to try to make it more fun and entertaining. And now you have Tommy DeVito, the Italian man. But yeah. And I'm going to switch it now to something that I think is ruining a sport. That's right. The Dodgers have ruined baseball. Shohei Ohtani deferring $680 million. 10-year deal with the Dodgers. Blockbuster deal. The highest paid North American athlete ever. He deferred that, going to get paid $2 million for the next 10 years and then $68 for the other 10. He's smart. That's a smart move. Based off of his business, whoever his agent is, genius. Financial advisor, genius. They're going to be getting a good chunk of change, but it's ruining baseball. What the Dodgers are doing in the last week has ruined baseball. Then they just signed Tyler Glasnow. 5-year deal. Good chunk of money for him as well. Since 2019, the worst pitchers in Major League Baseball postseason are on the same team. Glasnow is a 5.72 ERA. Clayton Kershaw is a 5.1 ERA. Dodgers aren't going to win anything. I'm telling you that right now. The Dodgers are going to go to postseason baseball like they always do. Then choke in the NLDS, NLCS. They always do. This is a team that is just giving away money like it's not, like it's made out of trees. They're just like, oh yeah, no, that's cool. Like, yeah, we'll give you $700 million. another few hundred million here. You still have to pay Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani. Now you're going to pay Tyler Glass now. I mean, at some point, Major League Baseball has to give out a salary cap, because it's just going to hurt the brand. You're just going to bring in all these people, all these big-time star players, and for what? To win, maybe go to the World Series once and lose? That's probably what's going to happen. They won in 2020. Haven't been doing good since. Just the Dodgers and baseball, it's ruining it. Just because of the fact that they're just throwing out all these money to big-time players, going to stack a team up, and then what's going to happen? They're not going to win anything. That's what happens in baseball. Happens with the Yankees, who aren't going to win anything. They give out all this money, all these players, and then they don't win. They did it to Judge, Stanton, now Soto. At some point, it has to stop. The Padres have done the same thing with, they did it with Juan Soto. Fernando Tatis, they did the same thing with. They just throw in a big chunk of change. All the players are going to want to go there. Oh, yeah, I want to play for a historic team like the LA Dodgers. They're going to be paying me, $500 million for the rest of my life. It's generational wealth. That's what's happening. But it's hurting baseball at the same time. It's just not a good look. It's not good for the brand. It's not going to make it fun, because nothing's going to happen. And then you're going to be like, okay, yeah, we just spent all this money. For what? For nothing. And the thing is, though, Shohei just had surgery on his throwing arm. It's not like he's going to be pitching the same like he did, last season. He won't be hitting the same like he did last season. So then you're running into that risk for $700 million. What if he gets hurt again? Then you're going to have to choose. You're going to have him pitch, or are you going to have him hit? And the Dodgers will probably have him hit. But he's one of the best players in baseball history, because he can do both sides of it. He can pitch tremendously, and he can hit the ball so well. I feel for Angels fans, but they're just a bad team. Poor Mike Trout. He's stuck there now. I mean, they had the two best players in all of baseball and still can't win. The Angels, just a terrible team. Poor organization, the poor fans. But they had to have seen this coming. Because if you're not going to change anything, then there's no success that's going to come out of it. That's what happens in sports. It's just not good for baseball what the Dodgers are doing. They're absolutely ruining it. There has to be, if you're Rob Manfred, you have to go into it and think to yourself, how can I change this? I mean, that's what separates baseball from the other major leagues in America, is just salary cap. They just spend money. But you have to at least think of something. You're like, okay, something needs to change. Like, there has to be a limit to this. I mean, but Rob Manfred's not the best commissioner in sports. That's just a fact. I mean, everybody knows that. But speaking of a great commissioner, and I hats off to him, Adam Silver. NBA knows what they're doing. Adam Silver is the best commissioner in sports. That's flat out, just, there's no argument. It's just Adam Silver, huge gap. Manfred, even bigger gap. Roger Goodell. I mean, that's just the truth. Draymond Green, I mean, I talked about this how many episodes ago? Maybe 2-3 episodes ago I talked about this. Draymond Green being suspended. Well, here we are. It's the same tune. He's been suspended indefinitely for punching Nurkic. I mean, come on. I'm going to sound like a broken record if I'm going to be talking about Draymond Green being suspended. The minimum that he should be suspended for is 25 games. He should be suspended for 25 games. John Morant got that same suspension. Draymond Green should get nothing less because he's a repeat offender. He's tied for the second most ejections in NBA history. I mean, it's not okay what he's doing. The NBA, they're saying that, okay, yeah, he's going to go to counseling, going to get help. He needs a lot more than that. Earlier this season, he choked out Rudy Gobert, and then he's going to punch Nurkic. He clearly has anger problems or some issue to the point that it's just he needs a lot of help. John Morant, he's going to be coming back after facing his 25-game suspension. He got help. He just said he has a new outlook on the world because of it. As he should. As he should, because John Morant tried to act gangster when he wasn't. Let's be honest. So Draymond being suspended again, it's nothing new. At some point, you're Steve Kerr. Stop defending him. Be like, yeah, you're the head coach. Take accountability for your players. You're going to pull them in, and you're going to want to set them straight. You're going to have to. Just because of his history. Nothing's going to change if you're not going to go out there and try to fix everything. The NBA is in a weird spot right now. I don't know what's going on this last few weeks with basketball. In-season tournament, beautiful. LeBron won, changes his legacy, and he won MVP. He's been playing phenomenal. And we're in year 21. That's the GOAT right there. And then you have this whole ordeal with Giannis and the Pacers, which was crazy to watch. Scored a career-high 64, franchise record 64, and then he goes berserk about the game ball because the Pacers took it. And, I mean, for me, and then Giannis said in his post-game press conference that he still doesn't have Game 6 of the NBA Finals, that basketball. And I think he's right. I understand where he's coming from. It wasn't the same game ball that he got, that he played with, that he scored the 64 points with. Why? He said the ball felt different. The basketball was feeling different. As a player, that it's going to feel different. I have some experience playing basketball and being able to play at that level. Not in the NBA, but I played at a high level in high school. That's it. But I know what a game ball feels like. You're playing with it for 60 minutes. It's going to feel different than a new ball that's going to have a lot of grip to it. The ball that Giannis probably used, very sweaty, probably worn down because of how everybody was grabbing at it and holding it. The sweat is going to deteriorate the ball. It's not going to have the grip like it used to. And then, these game balls, they're not filled up to the capacity. They're a little deflated within the regulation, just so you have extra grip on it. You can palm it better. You can dunk the ball with it better. So yeah, of course you're going to know that a ball feels different. And for me, Giannis deserves it. He deserves it because he put up 64 points, absolutely balled out, career high, franchise record, going down as one of the greats. And you should have him keep that basketball for a historical moment. And I love to point out that he was wearing the Zoom Freak 5s. And they're the Yukon Husky editions. And he scored a career high in them. I'm just saying. I'm not, I'm no conspiracy theorist. But I mean, let's look at the facts, right? No, but yeah, I digress. And Giannis deserves the game ball in every aspect. He would know what it feels like. He was out there playing with it for 60 minutes. He scored 64 points. Yeah, he deserves it. And he has every right to be upset about it as well. Just because you go out there, you put your all into it, and you score a career high. Yes, give Giannis his game ball back. And then the whole feud with him and Halliburton as well. Just they were jawing at each other too. The NBA, the testosterone's getting to a lot of these guys, and now the emotions are coming out, which is great for the sport. But at the same time, it's just like, okay, let's dial it back a little bit just because these players are getting a little testy with each other as of late, these last few weeks. I mean, if we're talking about the 90s and 80s, this happens every game. But it's in today's age of basketball in this sport that we're kind of seeing it in the 21st century. And even as of late, last 10, 15 years, this is not a regular occurrence. This hasn't been happening a lot. So I think with that, I mean, just give him the damn ball back. That's all he wants. So it is what it is. But I can understand Giannis's frustrations. If I scored 64 points, yeah, I want a basketball. I'm putting that up in my trophy case right next to my finals trophy. Finals MVP, putting that next to my MVP, putting that next to my Defensive Player of the Year awards. Yeah, I'm putting it all right next to it. But I think now what it's going to be remembered as, not Giannis's 64 points, but the Pacers took the game ball. So that it's also a legacy aspect. Oh yeah, remember when Giannis scored 64 points? Yeah, didn't the Pacers take the game ball away and then they gave him a different one? That's what it's going to be talked about. Just some food for thought on that. Just because of how I think it's just going to change a little bit about it. And then the Capitals owner, Washington Wizards owner, came out saying that they want to move the team to Virginia, to Alexandria. Not a fan of this move. 9 million square foot complex, $2 billion it's going to cost to build. I don't like it. I think the whole, you'd have to change it. Virginia Wizards doesn't sound right. Washington Wizards, you had the alliteration there, the W. It sounds nice. It has a nice flow. I'm not a big fan for it because if you want to bring a team to Virginia, easily can. If you have that money to go spend that, add a team in Virginia, cool. Because you want to know why? Add a team in Vegas. Everybody wants to do that. Why move the team to Virginia? Why not move it to Las Vegas? I feel like in Washington, playing there, it's this nation's capital. Our nation's capital should have sports teams. It's as simple as that. That just shows pride. Then you have the red, white, and the blue with the Capitals and Wizards. That's cool. It's fun. Alexandria, I haven't been to Virginia in a while. The only place I've been is Virginia Beach. Other than that, you have Arlington, but there's not much in Virginia. No offense to all my Virginia listeners. But they're not a big fan of it either. A team should be in the nation's capital. If you want to add a team, if you want to expand, go ahead. Everybody wants the Supersonics. Could have moved the Wizards over there to Seattle. But if you want to do an expansion, have to do it that way. You can add a team in Virginia if you want so bad, but the two teams that should be in the NBA expansion are the Seattle Supersonics and a Las Vegas team. Because that's what the people want, and that's what's going to bring in revenue. A $2 billion complex. For what? The Wizards to be dead last in the Eastern Conference? I mean, they won't be dead last. The Pistons are absolutely terrible. But I mean, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's not good. And that's just going to ruin morale for the fans in DC who are rallying behind the Washington Wizards who go to these games. They're not going to like it. So NBA expansion needs to happen. It'll happen soon because LeBron wants to own the Vegas team. So, and he'll do that once he retires. I mean, they talk about it. They do talk about it. There's no doubt that Adam Silver and the entire board is not talking about an expansion to bring two new teams that'll bring in a lot of revenue. That's what makes it a lot more interesting. I mean, that's just going to happen. And yeah, that's why I think that Virginia Wizards, no. I'm a no on that. Hard no. Just because it's not a good brand. I don't think. I mean, it's just, there should be a team in the nation's capital representing, wearing that red, white, and blue to show that there's just that patriotism in it all. And it's fun to have a team. Oh yeah, cool. Hit up Lincoln Memorial. Then I'm gonna go see the Wizards game, or I'm gonna go see a Capitals game. Capitals have had recent success in the 21st century. So yeah, the Wizards on the other hand haven't. So that's why NBA in a weird spot right now. Last few weeks have been weird. It might be the in-season tournament, everybody getting adjusted to it, but that was fun to watch. That was a good game between the Pacers and Lakers too. Watching that, so I was super excited, just kind of watching that game, and yeah. So that's gonna do it all on today's episode of Halfway with Hathaway. Really appreciate you guys listening, watching. Make sure to follow us on Spotify and wherever you listen to your podcast. Make sure to give us that 5-star rating as well. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. A lot more content coming your way, so make sure to stay tuned. And really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day.